Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the June 12th Traffic Commission. Let's all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Today we do have a quorum. We have 4 of our 5 members. Frank Stringy is absent. Let's just note that. Let's move right along into our public hearings. The following new and proposed multifamily residential developments shall be included under Section 10-34020 as non-eligible for residential parking stickers. 8 Avon, Amaya at Suffolk Downs, 650 Beach Street, 5153 Centennial, 21 Green Street, 1510 North Shore Road, 1499 North Shore Road, 1198 North Shore Road, 1473 North Shore Road, 110 Ocean Ave, 100 Revere Street, 571 Revere Street, 8 Revere Street, 451 Revere Beach Boulevard, 459 Revere Beach Boulevard, 37 Revere Beach Boulevard, 133 Salem Street, 163 Shirley Ave, 38 Walnut Ave, and 55 Walnut Ave. This is a public hearing, so are there any opponents, proponents to this measure before I ask the commission for their opinions? Seeing and hearing none. Commission, do we have any opinion as to the appointing these properties as non-eligible for residential parking stickers?
Mr. Chairman, I think that this list is appropriate as written. Just 2 points of information. The building at the Amaya at Suffolk Downs, also known as 50 Salt Street. Also, 21 Green Street, also known as 349 Lee Burbank Highway.
Noted. Thank you. I believe this was just kind of a bookkeeping item to clean up the actual ordinance on books about these units not being able to have on-street parking. So with that, I might add, all those in favor of approving this motion? All those in favor?
Motion to approve.
I'm sorry, motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Item number 1 has been approved. Okay, item number 2. Request by Councilor Cogliandro to place 24-hour resident parking only signs placed at the beginning of 18 Rossetti Street and 19 Rossetti Street, as well as Prince Street, due to vehicles using the street to park all day and night. Are there any opponents or proponents for this item? Seeing and hearing none.
First 2 of our petitions that have officially gone through our new traffic calming process. One on Charger Street, where we looked at speeds at 181 and 52 Charger, and then the second at Proctor, where we looked at speeds on either east and west side of Smith Street. So I'll start with Charger Street. The traffic working group met and reviewed the speeds that were found. Speeds were, the 85th percentile speed was above the speed limit. And not only that, there's a sign of effectiveness measure within that speed as well that shows us that the sign was actually working 50% of the time, roughly, which means that cars, 50% of them were slowing down, and even at that slower speed, were above the speed limit at that 85th percentile level. And then all the other measures that we have within our traffic calming petition were also reached. So it's over 800 vehicles a day. The street width is adequate, and all others, we had a score of yes. So ultimately, the traffic working group's recommendation in this instance, and I know Chair you can speak a little bit to that or to place.
Yeah, so I believe
yeah.
this would incorporate this, a speed radar sign that we're installing about halfway between Grover and Squire that's gonna be done next week.
Right. So I'll start there. And then, should I go on to Proctor Ave now?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. So at Proctor Ave, speeding was also observed, particularly on the westbound side of Smith Street. The 85th percentile speed was at about 28.2 miles an hour, and the signs were less effective there, but about 30% of the cars were slowing even at that. There was still speeding. On the other side of Smith Street, the speeds were slightly below, the 85th percentile was slightly below the speed limit, but the signs were over 50% effective, which means a lot of cars were actually slowing down, and at that speed, it was hovering just below the speed limit of 25 miles an hour. So the recommendation there was to place a speed hump west of Smith Street on Proctor Ave, and then to place a stop sign at B Street westerly and at Proctor at B Street easterly. Happy to take any questions you might have.
No. As part of the traffic working group, I understand all the things. Thank you. Now, was this in? Was this a request last meeting? No. Yes. It was. Okay. Okay. Perfect. All right. So as these are recommended in by the traffic working group. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, please.
Good evening. My name is Christine Robertson. I live at 187 Charger Street. I submitted a petition as requested by the city for a speed bump on Charger Street. The amount of traffic and volume we have and the speeding is just out of control. I appreciate the stop sign, and I appreciate the sign that you're going to put up that you're speeding, but as we all well know, people just look at them and just blow through the sign, as well as they blow through most of the stop signs in the city. I feel at this point in time, a stop sign is not going to impede people from slowing down. They're just, I mean, I've lived there for 45 years, and with the impending Park and Fly coming and Avis down the other end of the street, that's only to give us more volume of traffic, because as we all well know, people do not use the designated routes, which is 107, to get to Squire Road. And as I've stated before, and I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, it sometimes takes us 4 and 5 light cycles to get in or out of our driveway. A speed bump would be so helpful. And I know it's difficult, and I know it's a lot of work for the city, but we need something to control this. We need, maybe once or twice, if people hit that speed bump, they will slow down, and hopefully we won't take our lives in our hands every time we cross the street. Thank you for listening.
Of course. Thank you. Are there any other proponents? Opponents? Counselor?
Good afternoon. Councilor Janino, 14 Segretti Street, Worcester Councilor. First of all, I'd like to point out that the Charger Street and Grover Street stop sign is already on the books.
It is.
There is no stop sign there, but both the intersections already has a two-way stop sign over there on the books. So just to clarify that out. And if you want to discuss the speed bump now, or do you want to wait till the second half of the request to discuss it? It's up to you guys. I have requested a number on the request section to speak on the traffic calming measures. Number 12 on the request.
Okay.
I can hit it really easy right now, or you want to wait till then?
That's fine if you want to, if this, I mean, it's all pertaining to the same.
All right,
Study.
that's in regards to a speed hump. Put a speed bump over there, as opposed to the flashing signs. According to the National Highway Safety Bureau, the speed signs will give you a 5-mile reduction in speed. The speed humps are around 10 miles. The difference being the speed signs will slow the cars down on a normal straight roadway. You're approaching the sign, you don't realize you're speeding, you see it flashing, you slow down. The reason I want the speed humps on Charger Street, they're speeding for a different reason. The set of lights at Squire Road. You're coming down the hill, you see a green light, you step on the gas. Make the light. The speed signs have no effect at all in that instance, whereas a speed hump is going to cause that car to slow down to a reasonable speed, then go through the light. And I just like to have that consideration before we install the flashing speed sign there.
I do see your concern, but just a question, has Lantern Road, I think I've seen a good difference
The
there.
speeding on Lantern Road is different. They're coming off a highway, doing 35, 40 miles an hour onto a side street. So they're already going a little bit faster than normal. They see the sign, it says you're going 35 miles an hour. They go, oh, shoot, I slow down. Hit the brake, slow down, doing 25 miles an hour. So in a case like Malden Street or Sargent Street, where you're driving down the street and you don't realize you're going 35 or 40 miles an hour, you see the flashing sign, that causes you to slow down. The exception being the person who's driving fast anyways. So you have the person out there that's an aggressive driver, they're gonna drive fast, they don't care about the signs. So those signs are geared out to blank out at a certain speed. So if, I say they put it at 40 miles an hour. Once the car reaches 40 miles an hour, the sign blanks out. So now it's not becoming like a dragway. So the person sees the sign, how fast can I go on it? Hits 40, it blanks out. But yet it still records the speed at whatever it's at.
All right, thank you, Counselor.
All right? I mean, we bought these signboards, and the message, all the signs, we did a lot of research on it back then, and that was the main idea was to put them on the main roads where people didn't realize that they were going a little bit faster than normal. Then the speed humps, I was dead set against them at first. But I looked around, I started looking at them, watching them, and there is a difference on the roads, such as Park Avenue in front of the school. You put one over there, they come up, they slow down, you go over it nice and easy. Then they speed up again, hit the next one, and slow down again. Whereas before, they'd hit the first one, step on the gas, and fly up the hill.
All right. Commission, do we have any, was there any other proponents or opponents first? No? Commission, do we have any input on this? My ideal situation would be to go with the traffic working group's conclusion first, see if that's effective. If not, we can move on to something more dire like a speed hump, but. Sure.
Hello, again. If you would like to try that on a trial basis and maybe like in 90 days, see what happens, that would be all, I guess, acceptable. But
Okay.
Again, I put in a petition and had my neighbors sign it for a speed bump. The street desperately needs a speed bump, and we get well over multiple thousands of cars a
Yeah,
day
I know,
on that
there's
street.
definitely a volume
I see
problem.
all you guys drive down my street, so, I wave. But I really think it does need to be reconsidered, and I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if I could just add one thing, especially given that Christine's here and she put all the work in with the petition and data certainly shows there's a speeding problem here. We don't have to have it be an either speed hump or a speed sign. The other thing, part of our traffic calming policy is we've got a whole toolkit at the back of that policy, which is not simply a speed hump. And I think there's some concerns about what would happen with a speed hump on various ends of Charger Street. But you could have a choker, you could have a chicane, you could have a variety of other ways to shrink the road width a little bit because it feels pretty open and cars open up accordingly. So I think I'm fully in favor of having a trial basis with the sign and then adjusting as needed. I just want to add, I don't think it has to simply be a speed hump. We could consider other solutions that might be appropriate.
Okay, thank you. I think that's appropriate. we have any motions to approve the traffic working group's decision as they stand on a trial basis?
Mr. Chairman, the traffic working group's recommendations as described or as written, as was listed earlier, is that what you're referencing?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I make a motion to approve installing a stop sign northbound on Charger Street at Grover, which sounds like it belongs there already. And then to also add the blinking speed sign further down.
It's all actually one request, so I guess we'd have to do approval of Smith Street, the speed hump on Smith Street, and the stop sign on Proctor Ave and B Street.
My understanding was we were taking them separate, but
Oh, okay.
that's fine. I make a motion to approve all three as written.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Item number 3 has been approved. Thank you. Item number 4 on our agenda is for the Traffic Commission to convert the pilot into a permanent program. This is for the MBTA changes to the bus stop locations beginning June 15th in 2025. The changes are listed as permanently remove the bus stop located at Walgreens, Broadway southbound, and relocate the stop sign at Mountain Ave and Broadway to improve bus stop access for riders of the 116, 119, and 411. Permanently remove the bus stop located at TD Bank, Broadway northbound, and relocate the stop to Mountain Ave and Broadway south side to improve bus stop access for riders of the 116, 119, and 411. Move the left turn lane stop bar at Central Ave at Broadway back 10 feet and paint "Don't block the box" markings to allow for safe turning of large vehicles and improve intersection operations, as well as our fire station at that intersection. Move the right turn lane stop bar back on Central Ave and Broadway back 23 feet, painting "Don't block the box" markings and formally prohibit right turn on red to allow for safe turning of large vehicles and improve intersection operations. Move the left turn lane stop bar at Park Ave and Broadway back 5 feet and paint "Don't block the box" markings to allow safe turning for large vehicles and improve intersection operations. And lastly, lengthen Park Ave eastbound curb hashings between Broadway and in the metered parking spaces already existing. Do we have anyone from the MBTA or Planning Board that would like to speak on behalf of this motion? No? No? Any proponents, opponents, anyone in favor or against this? We've done our due diligence with all these items, and I believe it should be beneficial to that intersection, and especially for the fire department getting in and out of that central fire station location as well. Commission, do we have any?
Motion to approve?
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion number 4 is approved. All right. Now on to the requests. Request to amend Schedule 8 of Title 10 parking restrictions generally by removing one-sided parking to Archer Street, Lawson Ave, Wadley Ave, Beckett, Blanchard, River, Gilbert, Frank, and Tobin. Do we have any opponents to this item?
Councilor Guarino Sawaya, Ward 5.
I should note, these 1 and 2 go hand in hand, so removing the parking on one side, and item 2 is allowing parking on both sides of these streets I just listed.
All right, so I'd like to address an issue that has been causing significant frustration for the residents of Riverside. A few years ago, an ordinance was passed changing the parking configuration in the neighborhood from two-sided parking to the one-sided parking. Since then, many residents have expressed concerns about the impact this change has made on their daily lives. It has created challenges in times of parking availability and inconvenience, especially in an area where space is very limited. Many residents have shared their desire to return to the previous two-sided parking system, which had served them very well for years. To address this, I'm proposing that the parking be reverted back to the two-sided parking, with the installation of signage at the end of the streets that say no parking here to corner, in order to allow fire apparatus and city trucks to get through, so they can navigate the corners safely and enter the neighborhood in case of an emergency, while also improving the parking availability to the residents. I believe that this change will restore the balance of inconvenience, safety, and emergency access that existed before the ordinance was passed. I respectfully ask this Traffic Commission to consider what this neighborhood wants. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other proponents, opponents?
Good evening. My name is Mark DeSimone, Gilbert Ave, Revere. I came before the body the last time we had this meeting when it was first instituted. It was instituted without any of us knowing. Apparently, the last city council had put it in 5 years prior, and it took the DPW 5 years to put the signs up. That was the answer, the reasoning that we got. The way it is now with one-sided parking, if you come out of your house, there are, on most streets, if you're lucky, 6 spots. Between fire hydrants and driveways, there's about 6 spots to park for all of the homes. I've been in my home for 31 years, paid $115,000 in property tax to date, and I can't park in front of my house. It's bad enough that when my kids come to visit, if they don't come in the same car, they're adults, they have their own families, only one of them can park there because I'm only allowed one visitor for some reason. When it comes to safety issues, that was the only reason I've been given so far. I was a patrolman for 20 years in that sector on my street, that whole neighborhood. And in 20 years, not one time did we have an issue with any type of apparatus getting through. When I came to the last meeting and I spoke to the chief that was here then, the fire chief, he agreed with me that he did not know of one instance where they had an issue on a call getting through. Putting the signs at the corners, there should be no issue at all with any type of vehicle getting through with parking on both sides. Also, I think it's like 99.9% of us that live there don't want this. And it's unfathomable to me that if a whole neighborhood doesn't want something, that it gets shoved down our throat. It just doesn't work down there. We're an extremely unique neighborhood to the whole city. It's the only neighborhood in the city that is set aside, and the only neighborhood in the city that is all one-family homes. We don't have a two-family home in the neighborhood. So it's not a giant congested area where fire trucks have to get through because there's so many people or anything like that. And if you go down to Dashwood and Calumet and Beachland, which are much narrower streets than ours, those have two-sided parking, which makes no sense, and most of them are multifamily homes. So it seems that the city caters to the multifamily homes, and those of us that are left that still have a single-family home keep just getting bombarded. And when you pay as much as we do now and sit in traffic like you do, the last thing you want is to come out in the morning or come home after a long day at work or whatever and see a ticket on your vehicle that you pay excise tax for in this city. And, it's just, we're just asking for our government to reasonably hear our plea and do what we want down there to help us out. It's not right to have 6 spots on your street. And if you park on the next street over, they're not supposed to give you a ticket, I thought. They'll give you a ticket. My neighbor parked in front of my house with his permit, and he gets a ticket because there were no spots left on his street. It's, we just can't, we're begging you to please just leave it the way it's been for, like I said, I bought my house 31 years ago there. I never responded to a parking complaint in 31 years in Riverside. My neighbors, most of them have been there forever. The new ones that have come are great people. And everyone gets along. This has just made havoc down there. So we're pleading with you to please give us our parking back. And thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Any other opponents?
Hello, my name's Dennis Tarantino. I'm a little different than my friend there. I've been living there for 75 years. It's always been two-way parking, which we need. I don't know if I'm unique or not, but I have 4 cars registered in the city, and I have a 2-car driveway. Where do I put the cars? All the cars across the street are filled all the way down the line, so I have to put my own car a couple of streets over because I can't park in front of my house. A scenario that happened last week was I had an electrician come down to repair a little wiring. He opened up the doors, carried his tools in, and went out, and he got a ticket on his truck. I've never seen any problem with fire departments coming or going down the street. The only thing I see that's of some sort of a problem is I live right on Mills Avenue, and there is a problem with these cars that are racing down the street, going to the park and where it is. Maybe speed bumps in that case is a good idea to slow them down, but somebody's definitely going to get hurt on that end of it. But I feel as if I should be able to park in front of my own house. Again,
Thank you.
I've been there 75 years.
I hear you, thank you. So just to answer everyone's questions, the reason why the no parking was changed on the street is that the road width itself is only 24 feet
Yeah.
from curb to curb. Theoretically, let's say a perfect scenario, someone is parked up against the curb, 7 feet that side, 7 feet the other side, 14 feet. That leaves 10 feet in the middle for a fire apparatus or a DPW truck with a
Yeah.
plow, which I've experienced last winter trying to plow a couple
Right.
streets, one of them being Gilbert, and there was a vehicle parked to the side.
Well, I also,
Couldn't make it down.
Right.
There are reasons for it, and we obviously hear your concerns.
well,
and-
I
and
also
understand
plowed the
frustration.
area for 25 years, and I didn't have any problem plowing. I'm the plow guy
Which company?
down the Point of Pines.
So Green Acres.
Yeah, I've done it for 25 years there. Up
Okay.
and down the streets. Again, I don't see where there's a problem. Fire departments can go down there. As he said, they're all single-family houses. I'd like to be able to park in front of my house.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
How you doing?
My name's Scott Lanes, 28 Hayes Ave in Revere. I'm here to also support that it get changed back the way it was. It has never been an issue or a problem. We've had our house almost 17 years now. I'm giving the city excise tax on 3 vehicles, and it'd be nice to be able to park on the River Ave side of my house. And everything else has already been stated, so I don't need to say again what everybody's already said, including the plow guy. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lillian Smansky. I live on Mills Ave. And one of my neighbors on Tobin, I'm on the corner, did an experiment. And she parked, they both have Ford Edges, SUVs, her and her husband. She went out there, she parked her car, his car. She said there was 23.3 feet between curb to curb.
Oh, okay.
Okay, she parked the both cars there, and there was 11 feet in between them. A fire truck is 8 to 10, a school bus, 8, UPS, 8.5, and the trash, 8. We have never had a problem. We had a woman on Tobin that had COVID and was rushed to the hospital with an ambulance, fire truck, at least twice a week. Never had a problem with anybody getting down. I understand the signs, no parking here to corner. That would be wonderful, because they can make the turn. But this is crazy. I have children, grandchildren, they can't come and visit. There's no place for them to go. And they come around, I sit on my deck, so I see him. He's like a nightmare, this guy. He doesn't give you a chance to take your groceries out of your car, and he gives you a ticket. So something really needs to be done. We need to be able to park in front of our houses.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Sandra Mahabir from Lawson Avenue. I've been living at Lawson Avenue for 32 years. I just retired, and I never got parking tickets in my life until this change around. Whether I have a parking sticker or not, I get ticketed. This week, I have a big project going on in my house, changing over from a 58-year-old gas boiler to one of the modern ones. And 3 service vehicles are involved in this. And when I informed them on Wednesday of the street sweeping, only 1 service vehicle showed up. And that was the day the project was supposed to be finished. So as of today, my project hasn't been finished. I haven't heard from them because the men have been reassigned to their projects for whatever Thursday and Friday. I travel next week out of the country, and other than taking cold showers these days because I have no hot water, I can't get these guys to come back. So it would be really great if you all switch back to the 2-street parking, because I have been very hurt by this whole thing this week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other proponents? Opponents? I hear your concerns, I genuinely do, but in all good faith, I cannot vote for this. A DPW plow is 11 feet 2 inches. It's just not feasible to be able to squeeze by. And then the damage to these vehicles, it just doesn't make sense. I hear your concerns. I know you plowed. I was plowing this winter as well. In that scenario, it didn't unfold that I stated. We had to have parking common, and we had to have the vehicle removed. I believe it was a boat or something parked, and you just couldn't get by. There's no room. It's not feasible.
Mr.
I'm sorry, go
Chairman,
ahead.
how about if, when there is a parking emergency that their plows have to go out, the residents park in their driveways like they're supposed to? Like, when there is an emergency, you tell cars to get off the road. Well, why can't you tell them to get off the road as well? I mean, I'm sure no one will have a problem doing that to get their streets plowed.
Looks like I'm walking to the lion's den on this one. Zach Barbo, Director of Parking. So I'm not a proponent or an opponent, but I feel like I have a very unique perspective on this, as I was once a parking control officer that kind of traveled throughout this community, and now working as the director with that on-street perspective kind of helps me do my job to the ability that I do it. This change came over in 2021, and I'm not for or against, I don't live down here, but all I want to explain is the history of this area from my perspective. In 2021, right before that, 2020, the Gibson Point construction site was approved to be built. The neighbors were worried about influx of vehicles. There was no parking on either side of the roadway on the riverside. There were signs stating this: no parking either side, up and down every single roadway. So I've been hearing the message that we would like to go back to the old way. Well, the old way was no parking at all. This was every street on the riverside. If you ask the former traffic commission clerk, please, members of the public, if I could just please finish my statement, I'd be happy to meet with anyone and talk with anyone.
Everyone, please.
Please just let me finish. So the signs were there. Whether it was enforced or not is one thing, but the signs were definitively up there. Those got taken down in 2024 when the new signs had gotten placed up. And that's when the residents became fully aware of this changeover, because in 2021, there was probably limited public notification. For what reason, I'm not sure. Signs were not done until we requested them later in 2023 to be put up. So that was how the parking was set up in the Riverside from the get-go, was no parking either side. Whether that was honored or not, that is one thing. The other thing is, Councilor Sawaya made a good point, was snow arteries. If we declare it, can we get them out of there? I would sign off on that, and I'd be fully supportive, but we can't even get the residents over there to abide by the no parking signs that currently exist. So if we expect them to respond to a snow emergency sign, we're not getting any response now. And again, I'm not a proponent or opponent for this, but I'm only claiming perspective that we deal with today. I go down there, and there are cars on Gilbert right at that corner, within 20 feet, giant truck parked on the sidewalk, within 20 feet of the intersection, on the no parking side with a sign there. So if the residents would ask for any type of bend on this, and that's up to the commission, I can't see how that's possible with the current behavior that's taking place down there. The lack of acceptance of the rules that the city try to provide and try to place forth has created this same area to come up in front of this commission 5 times since 2021. So I do feel for the commission. I feel for the chairman. It's not a good decision. I experienced your snow plowing, but we've had troubles outside of just snow plowing and other things with compliance down here. And this is my perspective. Again, I don't live down here. I'm fine with whichever way this goes. My team will readjust. We'll enforce whatever rules are provided to us. But I just thought as the enforcement body of this, I should provide a little bit of perspective of what we've seen over here since 2021. If I have any questions for the commission, I'd be happy to answer them. Any members of the general public, I'd be happy to step aside and talk to anyone
That's fine.
afterwards.
I'd also like to float something by everyone. I think this is changing the parking from both sides. I'm sorry, from one side to 2 sides in 9 streets is kind of a large ask. I think we have to do a little bit more of a study and have this actually determined, other than someone going out with a ruler and estimating that. I think this is something that a lot of these items have been passed, flip-flop, changed, gone back. I'd like to do this once and do it correctly.
Something Zach Stababo just said resonated with me. He said that they've done nothing but change 5 times since 2001, right? That's what he
Back
said. He
and
goes
forth?
back and forth since 2001. Well, guess what? Prior to 2001, there was no problems, and there was parking on both sides. That's what the issue is here. And it's just, I think you're just trying to inconvenience the residents, and I don't understand. Because all you have to do is tell the residents, don't park across from each other so we can get the trucks by. I just don't get it.
But if
It's
you
been
get-
like this all these years.
Counselor, can I just say, if you don't park across from each other, that's theoretically the same as parking on one side of the road.
No, if they park from this to here, from here to here, so cars can still get by. I mean, I honestly, I have to side with this neighborhood, because this neighborhood, since day one, has had 2-sided parking. And then in 2021, when this came into 2021, when this was passed, and then finally came into fruition when I took office, it's been nothing but a headache. It's been nothing but a headache to
Actually,
them.
I have a question for the parking director as well.
Thank you.
Do you know, Zach, thank you. Do you know, is this the same one-sided parking that was enacted when the Point of Pines was changed as well, or is this a whole separate item?
So the side that is decided on now, besides, I believe, 1 or 2 roadways that Angela presented for change because there were larger driveways on the sides we deemed. These are the sides that were picked in 2021.
Pine side or Riverside?
I'm saying, was when
So-
they were changed to parking on one side, was it both areas at the same time?
Yes, but we have larger sidewalks in Point Pine side.
No, these were separate. One-sided parking was not coming onto the Riverside till 2021. Point of Pines had already had one-sided parking prior to that.
Okay.
Because I enforced one-sided parking in the Point of Pines in 2018. We didn't start enforcing one-sided parking in the Riverside till 23, 24.
Okay, thank you.
How did we survive all these years? With school buses?
Want to just stand up to the mic, please?
How did we survive all these years? With school buses, garbage trucks, ambulances, fire engines, plow trucks. Usually when it snows, people are very good about it. Everybody squeezes into someone's driveway. Tobin Ave, I'm only speaking for where I am because that's all I can see. There has never been a problem with a plow truck.
And I agree with you on Tobin Ave, but Gilbert, this winter, I had an issue. Specifically me driving the plow truck.
So where did this come from, though? We never had a problem before. Like, I've been there 25 years, and I've never seen any school bus, truck, nothing, not be able to get down.
I don't live in the area, so I don't know. I live in I grew up in the Point of Pines across the road, so I don't know if people were parking on the curb, on the sidewalk at this time you guys are talking about, or what it may be, but
No, people all squeeze in
all I
when they know
can
it's
tell is
snowing.
the width of the road, and I'm more than welcome to do a legitimate study to help determine, see if this is feasible, but
Well,
we
well-
have to incorporate all the
But-
concerns of public safety.
Okay,
And
so
things
you're
of that
gonna
nature.
have one side, that's for residents. Okay. What about when visitors come? We don't have a visitor side that might be there 5 minutes, an hour, 3 hours. At Christmas time, I went up and spoke to Zach because I have 6 grandchildren. They all drive cars, my daughter, my son. I spoke to him and said, I'm having company. He said, that's fine. Wrote it down. I didn't have any problems whatsoever. But what do we do on a day-to-day basis? Someone comes to my house for a cup of coffee. They leave their car. I don't see them tagging it. How do you solve that?
I don't know how the visitor parking
We don't
passes
have
work.
visitors parking.
There's no visitor parking
There's
passes?
no signs. Yeah.
Well, maybe that's something we should talk about.
But couldn't they make,
That would be a completely separate issue.
okay, but couldn't they make one side visitors so people aren't there all the time? And then the other side for residents? So we have someplace to park our cars. It works.
Why don't we just table this item until we can do an actual study and we'll have community development, have a traffic working group actually go through this and see if this is feasible or not.
Is
If
this
it's
gonna-
feasible, I would love to provide more parking in the city. There's nothing more than I would rather have. Me as well. As long as it works, as long as it makes sense. If it
Yeah,
makes
I
sense, I'm
just-
with you all. As long as it is possible. That's my only thing I want to justify. I don't want something to happen, a building to burn down, and someone get hurt because I made a decision that put that person in that position. I would not feel comfortable doing that, so let's have the traffic working group put this through their process and see if it's feasible.
How long will this study take?
Table it, let's just table it for a month and give us that time to do this. This is the first time I've heard of this. This is coming up. This is the first time this was brought to my attention. Give us 1 month to go through this and actually be able to check everything out and see if this is a possibility.
I mean, some of the streets I gather are wider than others.
Again, yeah, there's 9 streets listed here. That's something we have to look at. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm
but
just
we-
seeing these
we
for the first
really do need
time.
help. We really do. There's
Okay.
no place to park.
All right, motion to table.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask you just a couple of questions?
Motion, can we just get a motion to table, please?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to table and have the traffic working group take a really hard look at, what the residents are looking for in this neighborhood in terms of feasibility of parking with relation to DPW vehicle access, emergency vehicle access, and the like.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Before we vote on that, can I add an amendment to this? Possibly?
No.
No? Okay, thank you.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that, but listening to the concerns of the residents, I know we're going to have the traffic working group look at this, but I'm pretty sure there'll be some kind of a compromise here where they were talking about the winter months, and perhaps we'll look at maybe having some restrictions during the winter or declared emergencies. We could bring that up with the traffic working group and look at all those issues, but I'm sure there's some kind of an agreement that we could come to with this and work on that in the commission.
Awesome. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Item tabled till the traffic working group can decipher what is feasible in this area. $30 days, correct. All right, item number 3. Counselor Reno Soaya would like to discuss the installation of a speed bump placed in Rice Avenue. This is another thing would have to go through the traffic working group. Do you have the petition signed for this?
I do for Mills Ave and Rice Ave.
Perfect.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I make a motion to have this particular request sent to the traffic working group to be evaluated as we have done in the past.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those
Aye.
opposed?
What'd I miss?
Item number 3 and 4 will be moved to the traffic working group.
What does that mean?
All speed bump requests are moved into the public working group, I'm sorry, the traffic working group, so they can go through their toolkit and see what's appropriate for whatever intersection there is, and they can do the traffic study to see, check speeds and what needs to be done at the certain location.
Okay.
All right. Item number 5. Councilor Guarino Sawaya would request to have signs placed at the intersection of all Riverside streets stating no parking from here to corner, ensuring all emergency vehicles safe access.
We'll discuss that further once you guys do your study.
Okay, so
Thank you.
table that till the next one
Table it
as
till the
well.
next meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
That's a state law. You don't need to pass anything through this commission for that.
I thought it was 15 feet.
20 feet is state law.
20 feet, okay. Okay, that's fine. We can just add those signs if you like. Counselor? Okay.
If it's passed, if the two-sided parking is passed, that's when I would like those.
Okay, we'll just table it to the next meeting then. You know it is a law. All right. Item number 6, amend Schedule 11 of Title 10 handicap person parking by adding 35 Fernwood Ave, 11 Wave Ave, 25 to 27 Cheever Street. All right, let's see.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to take these one at a time.
Is there a second?
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Yes, these all should be separate individual items. I apologize. So I have 11 Wave and 35 Fernwood. Is there a third? Is there a third handicap application? Okay. Okay. So my recommendation would be to move 35 Fernwood and 11 Wave to a public hearing. Is there any motion? The other one will have to be tabled until they can provide us with the actual documentation.
Mr. Chairman, do we know if these two locations meet the requirements?
No, we do not. We're gonna have to look through these packets and. Fernwood Ave number 2. All right. Regardless, they've gone through the paperwork of filling this out. At least we can hear them out with a public hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to move 35 Fernwood and 11 Wave to a public hearing and to table 2527 Cheever until paperwork is provided.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? 35 Fernwood and 11 Wave will move to public hearing. Cheever Street will be tabled and postponed until paperwork is provided. All right. Item number 7, request to amend Schedule 8 of Title 10, parking restrictions generally by removing Mill Street westerly from Hall, Revere Beach Parkway to Revere Beach Parkway, no parking anytime, and adding Mill Street easterly, Hall, Revere Beach Parkway, no parking anytime. Okay? Counselor?
Mr. Chairman, Joanne McKenna, Ward 1. I have 22 names, petitions that you've asked for to change the signage from to the easterly side, from westerly to easterly. 22 signatures.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh. Perfect. All right. Commission, I would recommend, since the council went through all that trouble, and there's 22 residents actually in favor of this. Oh, I'm sorry. Go right ahead. All right. Well, I would suggest a motion to approve the switching of no parking on Mill Street from the
Mr.
opposite
Chairman,
side.
just a clarification. So this is a request to just have the no parking on the opposite side of what it is now?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
I actually went down there, and it looks like there is more parking on the left side of the road. Okay, thank you.
Go Costopolis 111 Mill. I mean, since '84 when I moved in, I'm sure for 20 years before that, it's always been on the easterly side. I think things just kind of got mixed up when something happened down the other end of Mill Street, and
Yeah.
somehow the whole street got included. Probably just a simple mistake, whatever.
That's fine.
But yeah, we'll lose about 6 or 7 parking spaces. if
You're
it was-
losing now.
We would, yes, once
you'll
it
gain
goes
them.
active on the westerly
Okay.
side. So if we can just get it back to easterly like it always was, that'd be
Perfect.
great.
I agree with you.
Excellent, thank you.
Commission?
A motion to approve?
Okay, so, motion to approve, can we, motion to approve 7 and 8?
To move to a public hearing,
I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, move to a public hearing?
7 and 8 together?
Correct.
Second?
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Move to public hearing. Thank you. All right. Next, we have request to amend Schedule 8 of Title 10, parking restrictions generally by adding Eaton Street easterly one-sided parking. Counselor?
Mr. Chairman, I have a petition with 10 names on them to make, and there's only like 10 houses on from Vinyl to Beach, to make one-sided parking. It's a very tight. I have photos. I can give it to the clerk.
Thank you. You're welcome. And all the residents there are in favor of losing
They're
that
in-
parking?
Yeah, they're in favor of having one-sided parking. Yes. And I have a resident here to speak.
Please.
Thank you, Counselor. Thank you to the board also. I live at 11 Eaton Street. My name is James Caramello. Right now, there are 7 houses on Eaton Street. Except for one, they're all single-family older homes, okay? The petition was signed by everybody in favor of one-sided parking.
Okay.
A little history, Eaton Street runs parallel to Broadway. It's the second street off of Broadway from Beach Street to Vinyl. Now, the first street is Wilson. Wilson is a one-way. Wilson Street also had chronic problems parking on both sides. Apparatus cannot access Wilson Street. I know this from a fact, I'm a retired firefighter, and the fact that the ladder truck needs to blow the air horn to get down Wilson Street. And it doesn't have to be a fire. 90% of the calls are medical. And if you're on your last breath, you want that oxygen. You don't want the firefighters going to the back of the fire truck, grabbing their medical equipment, and running down Wilson Street. Now, all of a sudden, Eaton Street is becoming a two-sided parking problem, and access of apparatus will not work. They will not make it down the street with parking on both sides. In the old days, it was never a problem. Seven families, all with driveways, all using them, and now all of a sudden, because of the influx of multiple families on Beach Street and Hall Street, there's starting to become a problem of people parking on both sides. Dire need of public safety, should be one-sided parking, westerly parking only, easterly, no parking that side. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Is there any way we can get him to come to the next Riverside meeting? I very much agree with you. Thank you.
Same thing. I agree with this. The dynamics of the neighborhood, it never looked like anyone was ever parking on that side that we're trying to make no parking until a situation arose 2 weeks ago where we got requested for service, but due to lack of signage in the area, we couldn't enforce.
Okay.
So that's why it's in front of you today.
As long as everyone knows of this change, I have nothing to say. Perfect. Perfect.
Mr.
That's all I
Chairman?
care about.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I agree on many levels with this, and I'll make a motion to send it to a public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
Awesome. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Move to public hearing. Thank you. And thank you. All right. Request number 10, amend Schedule 8 of Title 10, parking restrictions generally by adding Dolphin Ave westerly from Atlantic to Jones Road. No parking anytime. Jones Road specifically in front of Liston Towers? Oh, okay. It will be specifically in front of Liston Towers. No parking anytime.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Joanne McKenna, Ward 1. This is a safety issue. It's been a safety issue for a long time. From Atlantic Ave to Jones Road, I'm only asking for a block, and it's used in that block, it's just Liston Towers. Liston Towers has 2 parking lots, so the residents can park there. There's no need for them to park on the sidewalk. They're parking on the sidewalk because it's such a narrow street. You can't get a car down there. So there's, every single day, there's an emergency calls because they have like over 100 apartments there. So they have emergency calls. The apparatuses can't even get down the street. So I'm just asking for that block, which only has Liston Towers, and it has a 3-family that has a driveway, and then that's it. After Jones Road, they can park on 2 sides. But I'm just asking for that block from Atlantic Ave to Jones Road.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is that it for the proponents? Commissioner?
Mr. Chairman, I support the council on this motion. As displayed tonight, we're trying to make the streets a little bit more safer, trying to make sure apparatus and these larger vehicles can make it through. Dolphin Ave is definitely one that looks to need a little bit more opening on it. I would agree with this. Thank you.
It's definitely a tough squeeze. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I agree that this, I agree with this motion, and I thank the council for bringing this up. This has always been a tough street for many years. I've been down there hundreds of times, and we're at that building quite a bit, and really, I would love to see this, and I'm in favor of it. It's going to help us all out a lot.
Sounds good. Thank you. Is there a motion on the floor?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to send this to a public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Move to a public hearing. Thank you. Item number 11, Councilman McKenna would like to address the Traffic Commission regarding the traffic calming petition for Endicott Avenue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, I do have a petition that you've asked for, and they're requesting a portable speed bump or a speed bump down in Endicott Ave. You want this?
Yes, please. Thank you.
That was done by, I think, Arthur McDonald. He's one of the residents, and he got the residents that really want something. That has no, the Endicott Ave has no stop signs on it. It has one stop sign, and that's on the corner of Leverett Ave and Endicott. So you can fly by that, down that street with, speed down that street, and buses too. Buses go very fast, so I'm asking for a speed bump on Endicott Ave and to the engineer's discretion on where he wants to put it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very
We'll
much.
put this to the traffic working group and
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
not sure if a motion is needed, but I'll make a motion to move this to the traffic working group.
I don't think we have to submit a motion. This will just go to traffic work group, and then once they approve something, we can add it as a request, and then to finally vote. Yeah, we'll just table this for now.
I'll make a motion to table until traffic working group has a chance to look at it.
Perfect. Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? All those opposed? This will be submitted to the traffic working group. Oh, I have a copy. Do you need another copy? Yes. Perfect. All right. Item number 13, amend Schedule 19 by, I'm sorry. Whoa. Where am I? 12. Counselor Janino would like to address the Traffic Commission, discuss the
We already
traffic.
addressed it already. We're all
Yeah,
set.
okay. So we're all set with that? Thank you. All right, number 13, amend Schedule 19 by adding the following. 10.99.190, Schedule 19, on-street parking meter zones. Please see attachment. Do you have the attachment for that? Oh, here it is. Yep. Mr. Babo? Would you like to-
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, this item was in front of you last month for a request for public hearing for this month. It was tabled in order to make sure the ward councilor had time to discuss it with his community members and hold a community meeting. We did hold that June 3rd, I believe. It went well. The community did understand what we were doing. At first, they were a little bit resistant, but it's not just the Shirley Ave community we're looking to do this to. We're looking to expand some meters along Broadway, up and down the corridor, Cummings Ave, Fenno Street, Hyde Street, Pleasant, Yammons. So I'm not sure if this is in front of us as a public hearing tonight or just a request to go to public hearing.
It's just a request to go to public hearing.
All right, so I would request these items to go to public hearing for next month, and I'd be happy to speak a little bit more next month.
Thank you. Counselor, do you have anything to add, or would you just like to push it through us? Awesome, thank you. All right. We tabled this item last session so the counselor could talk to the surrounding residents, but I think at this point, we're ready to submit a motion to public hearing.
Mr. Chairman, just a clarification, does this include all 4 of the amendments that are provided?
Yes. Yes, it would. They all happen together.
In that case, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to move all 4 included to a public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Move to public hearing. All right. Next on the agenda, we have Counselor Novoskowski would like to request to have the following change made. Corner of Walnut Ave and Shirley Ave, direction south from 103 Shirley Ave to Costa Park, no parking. Here to corner, change from 20 feet to 40 feet. Counselor?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Ira Novoselsky, 53 Dearborn Street, Ward 2 Counselor. And I want to apologize for Laurie because I really didn't give her the exact wording of what we were looking for here. It's basic. She put it in basic the way I gave it to her.
Yeah.
But, you know, just to make it legal in the proper text, it would be the corner of Walnut Ave and Shirley Ave, the east side and the west side, right by Costa Park and right by 103 Shirley Ave. I want to move those 20-foot marks for no parking back to 40 feet. And that's actually by request of the parking director. What's happening is it's a very, very busy intersection, and cars, when they're parked near that 20-foot, and the car coming northbound on Walnut Ave, and the car coming off Shirley Ave to make the turn with two cars on either side can't make it. So I want to give them some more room so Shirley Ave doesn't get backed up as much. So we're actually losing 2 spaces.
Just one more
with
time.
this.
So you're asking for
East side,
east side of both Shirley and Walnut. That corner on the left?
the corner on the left where the height, where the catch basin is that we just cleaned out.
Okay,
Right,
Okay.
that area right there,
okay.
okay?
So just
And-
on the inside of the intersection, not both sides, just
Both
the
sides,
insides?
Both sides.
Both
The east
sides?
side and the west side. Yeah, we want to add another 20 feet to no parking here to corner. So it'll be 40 feet altogether.
Okay. I just don't know how to word that exactly. So,
Well, it would be direction, the first part would be east, the direction would be east, direction or slash side. It would be east side at 103 Shirley Ave. From 103 Shirley Ave, down to the corner of Shirley Ave.
okay,
Okay, and the second part of that would be the west side of that intersection from Shirley Ave to the end of Costa Park, approximately. It comes to about at the first telephone pole, but
and then, I'm sorry, west side of Shirley Ave?
that'd be
Shirley
the
Ave
west side, yeah, the west side of Walnut Ave.
I'm sorry, so the Walnut Ave east side
Yep,
at the corner.
yep,
You want to extend it 20 feet, 40 feet from 20? And then
Correct.
Shirley Ave west,
no, it would be still Walnut Ave west, because you did Walnut Ave east just now, before this. There's 2 parts to it.
so both
This-
sides of Walnut,
Walnut.
both sides of Shirley?
No, both sides, just Walnut, forget,
Both sides of Walnut,
yes.
one side of Shirley Ave? Okay,
No, not even one side of Shirley, just one, Walnut Ave, both sides.
okay,
Shirley Ave shouldn't be there. The property referenced is 103 Shirley. It has a corner building on Walnut.
Right.
on left Vermont.
That's just a reference point.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
that's just a reference point. So we're looking for a public hearing on that.
perfect. So Walnut intersection with Shirley, both east and west sides of the intersection, no parking, 20 feet. 20
Correct. Right, but-
Changing from 20 to 40
And
feet.
we use Costa Park as a guide and also 103 Shirley Ave as a guide.
Okay. I get it now. Thank you.
Okay?
Yep,
And we're looking for the public hearing on that right now.
perfect. Director, oh,
You got something?
nope. All right. Oh,
Mr.
do-
Chairman, motion to send to the public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Move to public hearing, number 14. All right, item number 15. Counselor Novoskowski would like to request to have the following change made. Beach Street direction eastbound from North Shore Road.
And again, I'm going to clarify that. It would be from 641 Beach Street. It's on the south side of Beach Street. okay, at 641 Beach up to North Shore Road. So it's, what we want to do is basically what we're doing on Park Ave, move the stop bar back so the buses can make the turn. So again, we're talking 641 Beach up to the corner of North Shore Road, right where that new little hot dog place is.
So we're requesting to move the stop bar back 40 feet?
Yeah, right now, right, because it's, right now it's 20 feet and the buses can't make the turn. So we want to move it back to 641 Beach Street, the stop bar.
Okay, that, just the other one we moved back a total of, what was it?
10
For the,
feet.
yeah,
Yeah.
40 feet sounds like,
Well-
it's already set back a good 10 feet, so that'd be a 50-foot setback for the stop bar.
It's almost the length of a bus. You should see the buses down there trying to make the turns. They're terrible.
Counselor, just a question.
Yeah.
You're talking about buses that are heading north on North Shore Road and turning west onto Beach?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely correct. You know, it could be 30 feet, you know, honestly, but I actually use 2 buses as a guide.
Okay.
Because there is a bus stop that's set back about 30 feet. But the stop bar is closer to...
I'm not against this, I'm just,
Trying to
if
figure
you
it out.
move it too far back, I'm just afraid people won't pay attention to the stop bar at all. If
Yeah.
it's 50 feet back from the intersection, that might be,
and
people
there's
might
no
not abide
parking-
by that.
And there's no parking on that side of the street, too.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Right now, the stop bar is basically, whatever, 5 feet maybe beyond where the crosswalk is.
Okay.
So it's from the edge of pavement on North Shore Road, you're looking at, it's probably about 15 feet right now.
So then we'd be adding another 40, so we'd be 45, 55 feet behind?
Yeah, I think that,
You could probably make it 40, you know, it's the length of a bus. You just
Well,
want to give the
how's
bus...
this? I can
Go
reach
ahead.
back out to the MBTA because they did requests this last week, and I gave them permission to move the lane back themselves.
On this one?
Yeah, at
Oh,
this
really?
specific intersection.
Okay.
So let me contact them and see what they were looking
You
for.
Find out a good number.
Okay.
I have no problem. I'm just trying to give the buses enough time, because the way cars have to actually drive up on a sidewalk to
Okay.
get by them.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay.
Okay, and the second part of that,
So would you mind if we table this one so we can talk to the MBTA?
yeah,
I can
unless you do the public, call for the public hearing, and then by the time the hearing comes up, you'll have talked to them already.
But we need to know what it is first.
Okay, well, that's fine, you know,
Okay.
I'm just starting the movement on it.
I got you. All right, thank you.
And the second part of that is on the opposite side of the street, where they just built a new building, and there's no parking from there to corner. There's that, but the buses are actually driving on the sidewalk. And so I'm trying to move that back just beyond the new building, where Jamie's new building is, where
Where-
Pete's Roast Beef was.
What's the issue there?
move the parking back?
We want to move that
the-
back.
Move the no parking?
No parking
Okay.
from here to corner, from 20 feet to 40 feet,
On beach?
on Beach. And it's actually 650 Beach Street,
Westbound.
westbound, correct?
Okay.
I'm
Well,
just
let-
trying to, you know,
Let's get that. Let me talk to the MBTA what they're having the problem with, because they'll tell me exactly what their
Yeah.
issue is.
so, but I'm trying to do it on both sides of the street, so the cars that are parked in the corner
I
aren't
got
gonna
you.
get whacked.
But let me ask them what they think. If they think that's necessary, then we can
That-
throw it in
that's
for
fine.
public
You
hearing.
know, I
All
did
right.
have a request from, you know, because there's really one spot available from that if they don't,
Okay.
if they only do 20
I'm just hesitant
feet.
on removing parking if we don't need to, so let me contact the MBTA first.
That's fine, I have no problem with that.
Can I provide some insight?
Yep.
So just to inform, so it used to be Peter Super Beef. There used to be a driveway on Beach Street right at this location where cars are now parking. With the new development coming online, the curbing was redesigned so that there's no driveway now on Beach Street, which allows for a parking space. What is happening is the MBTA bus is, as the engineer stated, coming north up North Shore Road, trying to take a turn on the west side on Beach Street. And not only, we've done a good job of cleaning up the contractors, making sure they're not in the corner, but the design of that sidewalk does not allow that bus to make a nice rotational turn onto Beach without coming on the other side of the roadway. So as they've installed these cameras to try to monitor their intersection, they've been having trouble with. They've gotten some videos of cars just needing to move to the side or back up, similar to what they're experiencing on Park Ave. So they're looking for a little bit of relief, and I would agree with the councilor as far as the parking status. We never had vehicles able to park there now. Now kind of the new design, it allows for that. So I would support a 40-foot no parking here to corner on that corner as well to make sure that that bus can move smoothly.
All right, again, let me just talk to the MTA first, because I don't want to make a decision to reduce parking without it being necessary.
Absolutely.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Just two things, a point of information. When Pete's Super Beef was there, there was the driveway that Councilor spoke of, but there actually was 2 curb openings there. And so parking wasn't really allowed for, or wasn't possible for about 80 feet from the intersection. So you can understand why if they're parking there now, there's, an issue.
Makes sense.
And second, make a motion to table this, to give you the opportunity to speak with the MBTA, so that we can make sure that we're making improvements once, appropriately.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, we've concluded our requests. Is there a motion to
Mr.
dismiss?
Chairman, motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.